Okay, so apparently my little 16 gigabyte card isn't good enough for doing videos on this. I don't even know if this phone can hold a 64, but I do have one. I'm going to switch. But I got it pretty much apart, and I found there is fuel in the floats. If you can hear that, because there's nothing on this to rattle. It's all one solid piece of brass, but listen. Fuel in there. Oh, there's some fuel leaking out too. See the shininess there? So it's leaking fuel. Yeah, smells like old bad fuel too. So that's why it overflowed, because these have to float up to shut off the float valve, and if they're full of fuel, they'll just sink, and then the float valve will just pour fuel in until it just overfloods, and that's exactly what happens. So I don't know if I can get a set of floats for this carburetor. So I'm not sure where my video cut off because I ran out of room. I deleted a couple that I already transferred. I didn't think about doing that. I wasn't thinking about room. I pulled apart this. This is a filter here. I didn't realize this one had a filter in this setup. It's like a little pre-filter, very small and seriously clogged. I mean bad. This thing is a mess. So probably what I'll end up doing with this, if I can even get a float set for it. This is the little cap that was on it. It's filth too. This would just goes right in here, and then this cap goes on top. So when I pull this cap off, this thing is like stuck. I was like, why is this? I couldn't get it out. And then I took the two. There's a plug on one side and the fuel feed on the other, depending on which way you need it, because it is an aftermarket Weber. But I couldn't get this out, and finally I took the two out, and then I just started working on it, and out it comes with all this dirt. I mean, this is what came out of that thing, crap. And still there's more. I mean, look at that. It's freaking just dead. I don't know. I mean, I suppose I could clean this up and throw it in there, but you have to remember it's in there, because suddenly you might be starving out for fuel and you don't even know why, and then, you know, let's not forget there's a little tiny fuel filter, right, or a little tiny pre-filter right there in the dealy bobber, the neck, or fuel feed neck, or whatever you want to call this thing, three-way. Okay, so still couldn't get out. What I believe is in here is a little shim. Goes down inside. It sits on top of a spring, which sits on top of a steel check ball, which is the anti-return for the crap. Now my brain is falling out of my head. Accelerator. Oh man. Accelerator valve. Duh. Man, my brain just fell asleep. Need more coffee. Actually, I haven't even been drinking my coffee, that's why. If I don't have coffee, I'm doomed. Coffee! Okay, so I'm about ready to throw this in the chem dip. I did talk, I don't know if I got it on there, but I talked about that these Venturis are probably not the style that's removable. They're probably pressed in there, but probably don't have an O-ring. They're so tight. I was gently trying to move them. They are not even beginning to move. So could not find any plastic anywhere on this. I removed all of the vent plugs, and the jets are removed. Everything's removed. Now I'm getting a low battery signal, so I'm gonna have to stop. So I believe this is ready to go in the dip, and hopefully I'm gonna try to keep this end up a bit in the dip so that this doesn't just fall out on its own into the dip, and then I won't be able to find it. Behrman's Chem Dip is some pretty strong freaking stuff, and I don't want to have to probably have to pour container to container to try to find it, and then, you know, we need the accelerator valve working, but it will be probably, I would imagine, it couldn't be anything but a little steel ball like a BB, and a spring on top of it, and then a sleeve is holding it down there underneath its little sprayer jets that go there. So this is holding down, this will come down on top of that sleeve and then hold that spring in place, but it ain't coming out. Everything's so gunked up on this thing that I got most everything out, but I can't get that check ball and the spring out of there. So you know, hopefully it'll just come out on its own when I clean it up with the chem dip. So for now, that's it. I will just make a check back video, or maybe put some text on there that I couldn't even get a float kit for this, because like I say, it is a Weber. I don't know if Weber's still making anything for this carburetor, so I gotta go check and see if I got a kit. I mean, if I can get a kit. CarQuest is going to be unhappy that I returned the kit for the standard carb. I should have really made sure first. I didn't notice that it was a Weber. I should have known. My bad. I haven't done carburetor for so long, I didn't even think about it. This is the first carb I've done in more than a decade, probably. Yeah, it's been a long time since I did a carb. Good for a refresh. I enjoy it. So until then, you guys have a great day.